on the track, boys.
And we are officially live. Hello to all my BC WrestlePod nerds out there, and welcome to another episode of Los Lobos de la Lucha, your weekly CMLL review show here at BC WrestlePod. Of course, I am Mikey, also known as El Jefe of the BC WrestlePod parts, and joining me this evening is my numero uno, my right-hand man, mi novio de la BC WrestlePod, the work husbando, if you will. Papa Oso himself will. Oh, man, I'm so happy to have you here. We saw each other an hour ago, and within that hour, things have gotten crazier in La Casa de Mikey. It's okay. I'll live. It's good stuff, though. We'll talk afterwards. But, of course, it is us as of right now, unless El Butador tells me otherwise. This is the final week where it's just going to be us two, because hopefully El Butador will be returning from his hiatus. He's been getting swole. He's out here in the streets. But I'm super excited to have, him and Adolfo back, hopefully this Friday for our watch along, which we'll get into in a little bit. But we are here to review another exciting episode of CMLL, in particular, this past Friday episode of Viernes Espectacular, which we'll get into in a little bit. But before we do, let's get into some announcements really quickly. We're going to speed run this because I want to spend some time talking about the show and previewing this Friday, because there's a lot of matches this Friday that we got to talk about. But if you are new to BC WrestlePod, we thank you however you found us, whether it be the algorithm, your friend, your mama, you're just like, hey, who are these two sexy dudes talking about Lucha Libre? Well, however you found us, we're happy that you did. And we want you to stick around so you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitch or Kick, whatever your preferred platform is for video watching / streaming, consumption, channel content, whatever you want to call it. But we also understand that watching full-length reviews may not be for you. And we understand that, and we love you. But if you still want to get involved in our little community, but on a smaller, more manageable scale, then I recommend you following us on your favorite social media site at BC WrestlePod. We got report cards for the weekly shows, previews of the weekly shows, report cards for the pay-per-views. We have, some other fun posts that happen. It's a lot of fun. It's good stuff. And I'm super happy that we do this because this is a lot of fun. And of course, we also just started our little BC WrestlePod coffee. So you'll be seeing our little link pop up throughout this review. If you want to donate to keep the lights on, so to speak, and help us out with the costs here at BC WrestlePod, we would love you for it. But we also understand that might not be for you. But if you still want to financially support us while also getting something really cool in return, then I highly suggest that you buy our merch, or at least check it out. At least spread the word, because it's really fun stuff. All of our merch includes all the review teams, both for the weekly shows and the international brands. And we also have a bunch of collections that are tied to charity, like our Pride collection, our anti-fascism collection. And on top of that, we just dropped our 2 newest collection, our fall collection, which is charity organization tied to that is No Kid Hungry, helping children not go hungry during the holiday season and the back to school season. And the one that recently just dropped 2 days ago is our Latino Heritage Month, where part of the proceeds will be donated to 2 organizations that aim to keep the Latin arts alive, whether it is through the visual arts, the digital arts, the traditional painting arts, whatever you want to call it. It helps provide and upkeep the integrity and, just the cultural relevance of Latin artists, even in 2025. But again, all of that merch can be found at bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. Link in the description of this video and the chat as we speak right now. Alrighty, let's get on with it, because we got a lot to talk about, and I'm super excited. Listen, I have been biding my time because El Buntador and Papa Oso here get to see they baby daddies mostly on a weekly basis. This is all about me tonight, because I got to see my baby daddy in the main event, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Brody King, I love you. I know you're married, but call me. We'll talk. No, I'm excited to talk about it. But let's kick things off. What started us off this past Friday in Arena Mexico? Our first match that we're going to discuss is our Relevo Sencillo. So this is una caída, so 1 fall. And this is the Pequeño Estrella, so our tiny stars or small stars, however you want to translate it. These were the shorties, and I love them for it. It's been a hot minute since we've seen a bunch of these folks, but we got the team of Shockercito and Galaxy taking on Full Metal and Pequeño Polvora. Again, this was a really fun one, and when I saw them, because it's been a hot minute, I was like, damn, I forgot. They are like my size up to my chest. I was just like, damn. I was like, I know I'm short, but holy crack. But again, the Pequeño Estrellas brought it out. This was a lot of fun to watch. I had a really good time watching this. And again, it's been a minute since we've seen these, this division in CMLL, but I had a fantastic time. It was a lot of fun. But after the dust was settled and everything was done, it would be the team of Shockercito and Galaxy who would pick up the victory over Full Metal and Pequeño Polvora. So, Papa Oso, this was what opened up this past Viernes Espectacular. What did you think?
It was fun and funny and super enjoyable. It's like, and it was so different than everything else that we've experienced, in the past. At least I feel like. It's like, I don't feel like we've ever, I mean, I know we have, but I feel like we've never experienced this before, and it's so funny, and I love it. And I was like, they should do this more often. I mean, because it's actually kind of fun and exciting.
It is. This was a lot of fun for sure. And I'm just like, oh man, I can't wait to see what we get going through. So again, give us more Pequeño Estrella. So we want to see these guys. They are fantastic. And I believe that the Night of Champions for CMLL is coming up very soon as well. So we're going to see a couple of possibly on that show. But once again, Chakracito and Galaxy win here. Before we go into our next match, though, because I couldn't find a picture of it, and for those of you who aren't aware, though, we get a little brief vignette, and we are told that the actual Mexican government, specifically the Economic Tourism Board and all that good stuff, um, let's we were told that CMLL has officially received the Hecho and Mexico like signal logo, the Made in Mexico logo, which is a big thing for businesses in general, because that means that the government recognizes you to contributing to the government and to the culture of Mexico in itself, and it is a really high honor. And CMLL has received that kind of stamp of approval, and I was just like, oh my god, like this is crazy. So of course, again, this is a very big thing in Mexico. This is the stamp of approval that they are positively contributing to the economy of Mexico and tourism abroad. And it is a high honor for any company, business or entertainment wise, to receive it. And it was really cool to see that CMLL got that out. So I may or may not have cried a little bit. I'm like, oh my god, wrestling's changing the world, you guys. So I love that CMLL is never afraid to be like, all right, guys, we're going to take a break from the action. So let's tell you all the cool stuff that's happening and things that are happening with us. And I was like, yes, I'm so happy to be a fan. It's so much fun. I love them so much. So it was really beautiful. And then they're like, all right, enough of the mushy stuff. Let's get back to the action. And I was like, awesome. Which action we did get next in our second match. This was a Relevo Australiano match. This is a dos a tres caídas. Again, we're seeing some folks that it's been a while since we've seen them too. But we get the team of Magia Blanca, Shelhua, and Hijo del Pantera taking on Calavera. So Calavera Junior 2, Calavera Junior 1, and Infarto. So I love this. First and foremost, shout out to Shelhua. That mask and that outfit was on point. I was just like, I was like, oh my god, is he wearing the Mayan earrings into this whole thing too? I was like, yes. I was like, God, I love a good ensemble piece. And this was another fun match too. The Calaveras have been getting a push the last couple of weeks. In fact, last month, we've been seeing them pop in more often. Love them.
Yep.
And yeah, they are great. But then, of course, Magia Blanca is getting pushed, like Shelhua coming back, to, Arena Mexico after, being in the States for a bit, including having that awesome match at the Ring of Honor pay-per-view a couple weeks back against Lee Moriarty, which was a lot of fun. I'm going to be a broken record. This night was just very fun in general. I had a good time with this one.
Yeah, me too.
So this match, again, 2 out of 3 falls. This was a lot of fun, good back and forth action. After everything was said and done, Magia Blanca, Shelhua, and Hijo del Pantera do pick up the victory here. Papa Oso, this was our second match of the night. What did you think?
I loved it. It just kept going, and I was like, yeah, okay, all right, here we go. All right, let's do this. Like, I love it. I mean, I also am like a broken record, as I just don't think that Lucha can do I don't think it can do any wrong. I mean, it's literally it could be the worst match ever, and it's still great. I literally am just like Calavera, the Calaveras. Oh my god, I love those guys, and I'm so glad we're seeing more of them. And Magia Blanca, again, and then Shelhua, I've always loved, and I don't think we get enough of him at all. So I mean, I just love this whole thing. It just kept making me more and more excited for the rest of the evening.
I have to agree with you there. Again, this was another fun one. This is what we typically see from our, trios matches in CMLL, which is a lot of fun. This was a fantastic time. This was really good. I love trios, but oh my lord! Listen, I knew we were getting this match right. Like we all knew this was made last week from last week's from the previous Viernes Espectacular. I don't think my body was prepared of how brutal that these two were gonna go at it. Zuxis, girl, this is your second match back, but I'm so happy you're back. Ooh, listen, shout out to La Catalina. She took a pummeling, but Zuxis threw that bitch. I was like, holy hell. But again, this is mano a mano. This match was made from the previous Viernes Espectacular, La Catalina versus Zuxis. God, this match was so much fun.
Oof.
Again, La Catalina putting in the work in the Arena Mexico and the States, which is a lot of fun. But hot damn, if I wouldn't say I have missed Zuxis so much, and she literally threw La Catalina around this wing. That power bomb from the top turnbuckle, I was just like, oh my god, I think she died. I think La Catalina is dead. Her soul is deceased.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I
Hey.
felt that through my screen.
Yeah, Zuxis was here to destroy. It was literally, I was like, ooh, Lord, child. Ooh, girl, you here just destroying. La Catalina, God bless her. But oof, she was on the wrong end of Zuxis. She was just literally tossing her around. I was just like, good Lord. I mean, she was holding her own, but it was like Zuxis was annihilating. It was just, I was like, La Catalina, I don't know how you did it, girl. Like, good for you, because I wouldn't have lasted that long.
Mm-hmm. I was just like, this was such a fun Amazonas match, and if I hadn't already said it before, but Zuxis does beat La Catalina, and you know what? More power to her. Happy to have her back. This was so much fun and very brutal, which I was just like, I love the Amazonas division. I really do. They got some powerful women that aren't afraid to just throw everybody around, which is so much fun. But yeah, I was just like, really perfect. This was the middle of the show too. This was the only Amazonas match, and damn, they destroyed each other. So this was great. Loved it. So then we get into, again, we get a 3-for-1 special, if you will, because then we get into the second phase of the Copa Independencia. So we are following the format from last time, where we have a total of 4 teams. We get 2 elimination style matches where winning team in match 1 goes on to face winning team of match 2. And the winning team between those two are going to go on to face El Galeón del Fantasma at the 92nd Aniversario this Friday. So we had a kind of fatal 4-way to determine who the opponents were going to be. And our first matchup, after everything was said and done, we had the team of Titan and Templario, Papa Oso's baby daddy here, taking on the team of Max Star and Futuro. This was a fun match. Shout out to Max Star and Futuro. I really loved the neon ring gear that they were wearing. It was so good. Titan is always amazing, but I was just like, I am here for a more aggressive Titan and Templario because these boys did not come to play. They're like, yo, we want to get to the anniversary show, so sorry, boys, we got to get through you. Hot damn, Templario and Titan did not waste a movement. They did not waste a breath. They fought with purpose, and I was just like, I want this all the time between these two. They make such a good team. Oh my God. Like, yeah, I mean, what's like, holy crap. Oh my God. This first match was a lot of fun. Papa, also, what are your thoughts?
Anytime you put Titan and Templario together is just stellar. They are, they're sort of like the opposite sides of the same coin when it comes to kind of like their power, their style, their skill. And I think they complement each other so well, like in the ring. And now Max Star and Futuro, they also did great. I mean, all 4 of these guys were amazing. But man, Titan and Templario, my T2 team, man, they just, man, they're so good. They're just exciting to watch in the ring. I just loved it. I loved it.
This was a really fun match. Templario and Titan would end up winning, so they would go to face off the winner of our second match, which was also a lot of fun too. So the first match, I would say, are the younger guns, if you will. This one was a clash of the vets, and I was just like, oh God, I am so here for this. I was just like, these are all the elder statesmen fighting it out to see who's gonna face Titan and Templario in the next round. I low key shed a tear. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing and magical. Listen, I mean, we're in Arena Mexico, so the crowd's always going to be amazing. But Atlantis and Blue Panther, this crowd was so behind you. I was just like, oh my God. So don't get me wrong. I love the whole 3 matches we got for the Copa in the Benthia for this phase on this episode. Dare I say, I think this was my favorite my favorite part of the match. I was just like, I had a really good time. Atlantis and Blue Panther, man, like age is nothing but a number. Same thing with Euphoria and Mephisto. Like, holy crap, all 4 of these men went to town, and this was a blast to watch. Atlantis and Blue Panther would win, so they would go on to the next round. And I was like, yeah. I was like, oh my God, I'm actually getting a really fun match for the finals in this phase. But also, what did you think of this second part to the 3-part match we got for this sequence? What did you think of these
great.
4?
I love, and I know I've said it many times, I love that this culture is so like age conscious, I guess is what it's, I don't know. Like there's no ageism, which is great. It's like you got these veteran folks, these older men out here who are obviously, these younger guys are like half their ages, whatever. And man, they lay it down. And it's like, and they're not afraid to like throw themselves into harm's way, which I love. I just love that they are, and there are times, and I will say yes, there are times where you can kind of feel their age catching up to them at times, but man, they don't let it stop them. Man, it is so, I love it. It is. This is probably very, every time they do this, it is very moving, actually. I won't lie. Because it's just like, look at the honor they give these men. I mean, the respect. You wouldn't see this in American style wrestling. You don't see this in American style wrestling. And it's unfortunate. Everyone favors the young here, and
Right.
we kind of throw the older folks out the door.
Right. And I know me and you we had a long conversation during one of these reviews about it too, how it's unfortunately, especially here in the States, when it comes to aging out the wrestlers, because once they get to a certain point and can't go full throttle the way like the younger guys do, we kind of put them on legendary status and then kind of push them out of the industry. But here in CMLL, literally this match is a prime example. It's just like all these folks, like if we combine all their ages, I was just like they probably have a century or something. Like I'm joking, of course, but like there's so much wrestling experience in this ring right here with how long each of them have been in the business, but of lucha libre. But damn, man, they're good, and the crowd is just as hot for them as they are for the younger stars too. Which, again, we can sit here and rehash our previous conversation we had weeks ago, but just all to say is I agree with you here. Again, Atlantis and Blue Panther moved on, and I'm just like, before we even talk about this match, though, this picture right here, I was just like, I was like, we are about to get a show, and a show we did. Literally, we have Titan and Templario, who I'd say are your pillars of the younger guys, like being consistent here, taking on Atlantis and Blue Panther, who are also, been here forever, big over with the crowd. I think that this was my favorite match of the 3 we got for this phase of the Copa Independencia, and it showed the aggression and the, vigor of Titan and Templario. They knew what was on the line, and they didn't let every moment slip away. But Atlantis and Blue Panther were like, no, you ain't just gonna write us off, so we gonna kick some ass too. And honestly, I mean, main event was really fun, and then I like on paper, like I was like, yeah, this is probably my favorite, but I think this is probably, but thinking about it and looking back in my notes, I was like, I think this was probably my favorite match of the entire night, just because of the moment it created of two generations clashing with each other, but in a form of respect and love, and they all knew what was on the line here, and it's not like they were just like phoning it in either.
No, not at all. I do. I love it too. I mean, this was like such a great visual for, I believe, for the culture of Lucha Libre, is this right here. This is like poster. This is what Lucha is. We are all generations. We are everybody. All they need in this poster is like a couple of, a few of the Amazonas. And I would be like, this is just brilliant, because I find so much respect in this, in the idea of the older generations and the younger generations coming together in the spirit of respect and camaraderie and competition, of course. But they approach it so respectfully. And even though they're like, yeah, we're here to win it, but when they look across that ring at their opponents, you can feel the respect in the ring, and it's just, and in the crowd too. You could feel it in the crowd, man. It was electric. This was my favorite match of the night because of the electricity in the room was so incredible. Not just in the ring, but around the ring. It was so good.
It was so much fun. Titan and Templario do get the best of our vets, and they do move on to the finals of the Copa Independencia at the 92nd Aniversario show this Friday, where they will be going. It will be Barbosa and Difunto versus Titan and Templario, and I cannot wait for that match. And we'll talk about that when we preview this episode. I'm just like, they're so bad. This card is stacked, and it's looking. I was like, I'm gonna be real. It's looking to be a potential, show of the year for me. So we'll see what happens. But let's get into our main event. Again, I still really enjoyed our main event. I had to watch it twice because the first time around I was just lost in all these of Brody King, and I'm just like, ooh, that man. Listen, I have a type. Y'all know what it is, so we ain't gonna rehash that. But in our main event for Viernes Espectacular, it is for the AEW Tag Team Championships. The challengers are Galeon del Fantasma, so Zandakan Jr. and Difunto, taking on the AEW Tag Champs of Brody King and Bandito. This was so much fun. Now, I did get a little worried because Zandakan was out for like a good couple of minutes with the stretcher and everything. So it's like, oh God, please tell me he didn't get hurt. But he was good enough. He was fine enough to finish the match. And then he was fine the following night when I watched MLW. I was like, oh, he's fine. He's walking around. He's good. But I was like, no, right before the anniversary show, you can't do this to me. But this was a lot of fun. I really, again, Galeon del Fantasma worked great as a team. But this match was so, I mean, this was the most like Western style match we got, like Americanized, but like in the best way possible, because we got more spots than we did just everybody flying around the ring. But let me tell you something. Bandito is still on my list to probably be my favorite wrestler of the year. He's out here having banging matches. Him and Brody King, I love them as a tag team. I know it's a new spot for him and he just does it, but the crowd, I wasn't sure if they were going to be behind it. But the fact that in Arena Mexico, Bandito does the Macarena It was the best. I don't care what no one says. That is one of the funnest spots that I have seen in wrestling so far in the last couple of weeks. And Brody King is playing the straight man. It's just like, nah, bro, we can't be doing this in the middle of this ring. I'm telling you, whenever Brody King does it back, the world will end in peace and love and unity because the world will be healing. And again, I am a big fan of Brody King when he does his cannonballs in the corner, when he runs and then just does a front flip into his opponent. I'm just like, yo, those cannonballs are crazy. And then we had a chicken fight too at one point where where Bandito and Zandokan got on the shoulders of their partners and we had a whole chicken fight. This was just pure fun. And I think that's what this needed to be. This was a fun way to end Viernes Espectacular, sending the crowd home happy with just a fun match. Papa Oso, so what do you
totally
think?
agree. I totally agree. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Ooh, I totally agree. This was just a super fun time. And you're right. I mean, what a great match to end the night on. And because the people were just eating it up. And all four of these guys were amazing. And I'm not that familiar with Brody King. I know who he is. I'm just not familiar with him enough. But he was great. But I mean, I know Bandido and I know Zandokan Jr. and Defunto. And watching them work, I love their work. So I figured this was going to be a fun match. And it was. It wasn't disappointing at all. I thought it was a good ender for the evening. I really did.
I 100% agree. This was fun. Of course, Brody King and Bandito, also known by their tag team name of Brodito. Brodito do retain their tag team championships, which makes sense. But this was a lot of fun. And you know what? This was a really fun Viernes Espectacular. I had a great time with this. And if you want to call it a go home, what a fun go home show, because now I'm just like, baby, when I tell you that this Friday is about to be on and popping. Listen, we're far enough into this. I was just like, us here at CMLL, Los Lobos de la Lucha. I can't speak for El Buntador, but me and Papa Oso are strapping ourselves in because it's about to get wet and wild, because it's going to be. The matches on this card are making me just like, oh my god, I'm so wrestling horny right now. Holy hell. So let's go over this card. This card is jam-packed. So I don't even know where to start, but I'm going to do my best. So these are the matches that are scheduled for 92nd Aniversario, which is this Friday. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But the matches that are scheduled so far for the women's tag team championships, of course, we are getting Lluvia and La Jarochita defending their titles against Reina Isis and Persephone. So I'm like, all right, that's already an immediate banger alert right there. Like, this match is about to be on and popping. Then we're getting a Relevo Australiano de Idolo, so like an idol battle of some sort. So like the big names and the fun names. So we are getting the team of Máscara Dorada, Atlantis Jr., and Neon taking on the team of Hechicero, Volador Jr., and Zandokan Jr. So I'm just like, that match is going to be crazy fun, and I'm so excited for that. Then on the flip side of things, we have the men's tag team championships on the line. So our challengers are Hijo del Villano Tres and Villano Tres Jr. So the Villanos are getting a chance at this, and they will be taking on the champions of Los Hermanos Chavez, which is Angel de Oro, and Niebla Roja, which I'm really happy to see. So this is going to be a lot of fun. And then on the other side, we get the finals of the Copa Independencia. El Galeón del Fantasma, Difunto, and Barbosa taking on the team of Templario and Titan. So that match is going to be crazy. But then strap yourselves in, because these next three matches are going to be kind of nuts too. So we get a hair versus hair match. It's like Somebody is losing their hair at the end of this, but we are getting Rey Bucanero versus El Felino. This potentially might be the final time we see one or both of these individuals. Somebody is losing their hair at the end of this, and I'm just like, ooh, this is gonna be fun. Then for the CMLL middleweight champion, this is Mask versus Championship. Mystico is hoping to get the championship back from AEW star MJF, so that should be a fun one. But then, in probably what I think is main eventing the show, we've been building this for months, and it's finally coming to a head where we are getting a triangular increíble in pairs. So this is basically this is what they call the suicide final. So the way that this is going to work is that our three teams are Ultimo Guerrero and Averno versus Esfinge and El Valiente versus Dragon Rojo Jr. and Barbaro Canario. So the way this match works is that these three teams are going to go at it, and the losing team then has to immediately face each other, and it's either going to be hair versus hair or mask versus mask. So whichever team loses, so if Ultimo and Averno or Dragon Rojo Jr. and Barbaro Cavanario lose, then it becomes a hair versus hair match. If Esfinge and El Valiente lose, then it becomes a mask versus mask match. And I'm just like, oh, this is about to be a car crash, and it's about to get on and popping. I'm just like, I thought the four-way mask versus mask match that we got last year Anniversario show was crazy. This one's about to get crazy. I was just like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, I don't know what match I'm looking forward to the most because all of these sound damn incredibly fun, and I cannot wait. Papa, also, what are your thoughts of this stacked card for this Friday?
I am excited for the hair versus hair, mask versus mask match because I've never seen one. I've always heard about them, but I've never seen one, and I can't wait.
Listen, we out here at BC WrestlePod are doing the Wrestling Lord's work as we are popping cherries left and right for match types that have never been seen before. And I'm excited too. And because it's in CMLL, you know the action's going to be good too.
I'm excited for it. I can't wait. But I'm really excited for that match.
Oh, 100%. I don't know which way is going to go, but I cannot wait either. And thankfully, y'all watching at home don't have to wait either because Los Lobos de la Lucha will be together, hopefully, this Friday to do a live watch along for the 92nd Anniversario show. Now, I'm not saying anything because, crazier things have happened, but I am super excited for the show and the possibilities of watching it with everybody because last year, God forbid, we don't know why, we still don't understand it to this day, but last year's Anniversario watch along that we did for the 91st one is the highest watched watch along and video that BC WrestlePod has ever done in the 3 years of this channel. Like, it has garnered almost 5K people who are watching at one point alongside with us, like, which is buck wild. And I was just like, who are all these people watching? So I'm not saying that that's going to be like this Friday, but hot damn it, like, Anniversario always brings out the wrestling fans, and I am so excited. So myself, Papa Oso, and El Buntador de Segundo, the three of us will be here watching along, and hopefully our fourth co-host, who is unfortunately absent this evening, but Agent Lo-Fi, hopefully will be there watching alongside with us. So that to watch along is this Friday, September 19th, starting. We go live at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. We'll probably go live a little bit early, like 10 minutes before, to preview the card and then just to talk before the show starts. So, y'all, on top of that, for the first time in CMLL's history, if y'all want to watch this show, you could go to Triller TV. It's going to be on Triller TV outside of just YouTube. So you can also buy it on Triller TV. Like, CMLL out here making moves, and I'm so excited for this Friday. But that's going to be it for the review portion of Los Lobos de la Lucha. So I just quickly want to go over some noticias, which are some other things that happened regarding our CML talent over the last for the last week or so. And so I'm going to just talk about this past Saturday. MLW had their show Fightland, in which myself and Ancient Lo-Fi watched together, and we had a fun time with this. And I just want to briefly talk about the matches that involved our CMLL talent. So, best match of the entire night between the three, but this was such a fun match. We had an Opera Cup opening round match between Ultimo Guerrero and Esfinge. This was a really solid match. This was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Ultimo Guerrero did win, so he's going to be going up against Místico in the semifinals. So that match is going to eat as well. The second match that we got was also a lot of fun. Zandokan Jr. versus Blue Panther Jr. So it was nice to see Zandokan recover from the night before during his tag team match against Brodito in Arena Mexico. This was a lot of fun. Zandokan wins. The right person won in this one. But guys, I'm happy to announce that the last match that involved the CMLL talent for Fightland was for the MLW World Middleweight title fight. The Lucha Hunter Ikuru Kwan versus CMLL's Knight in Shining Armor, Templario. And guys, your new MLW World Middleweight champion is Templario. Templario is a three champ. He has 3 championships now. He has one of the CMLL titles. He is one half of the New Japan Strong Tag Team champs. And now he's the MLW World Middleweight title fight. This was such a fun match. My only complaint is that it was a little bit on the short side, but damn, this was such a fun match and so excited to see Templario win and become champion in MLW. So that's going to be a lot of fun moving forward. And then the only other thing is I'm going to constantly remind y'all that October is right around the corner and Fantastica Mania UK is happening in October. So I'm super excited for that, to see where that goes and all that good stuff. But that's going to be it for us here at Los Lobos de la Lucha. So before we go, I do quickly want to go over what the remainder of the week looks like for us, because there's only 2 things left this week, which is crazy, given the fact that we do a lot. But what we got going on this week is on Friday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Central, and 10:30 p.m. Eastern. The CMLL crew will be here doing a live watch along for 92nd Aniversario. So that's going to be a fun late night edition. So y'all going to get some snacks. You want to probably take a nap beforehand, because we don't know how long this show going to go, but it's going to be on and popping. And then I will be up bright and early Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific to do a quick review on Defy Wrestling's Aeon. You know, it's going to be a fun show. I can't wait for all of that. It's going to be good, y'all. So very short week this week, but looking forward to all of it because it's going to be a good time. But that's going to be it for us here. We won't have to wait until next week for the crew to get back together for CMLL, because you will see us this Friday. Me and Papa also are going to talk about the optics of that, and then I'm going to reach out to some other folks too who might want to join us. So, but that's going to be it for us here at Los Lobos de la Lucha. So from all of us here, including the rest of our BC WrestlePod family, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll see you Friday for our watch along of 92nd Aniversario. But until then, sayonara, adios. Until next time, peace.
Me tiene loco en la cabeza cuando me tocas. Siento que todo está bien, pero en verdad yo no sé si tú lo sientes